You open your banking app. Not because you have to, just to check. And for the first time ever, the number doesn't scare you. It says $20,000. No low balance warning. No quiet panic. Just calm. But here's what almost nobody tells you. The moment you cross $20,000, the entire game changes. Not just emotionally, systemically. In this video, we're breaking down what actually happens after $20,000 and why banks quietly don't love when you reach this level. Stay with me. The shift is bigger than you think. Life below $20,000. Before we talk about what happens after $20,000, we need to talk about what life looks like below it. Because if you've ever lived there, you know the feeling. You're constantly doing math in your head. Can I afford gas and groceries? If I pay this bill today, will the other one bounce? How many days until payday? Every unexpected expense is a crisis. Car repair? Crisis. Medical bill? Crisis. Rent increase? Full-blown emergency. You're not building wealth. You're dodging disasters. And when you live like that long enough, your brain adapts. You operate from survival mode. Everything is short-term. Everything is defensive. But here's where it starts to get interesting. Because around $20,000, something flips. And it's not just emotional. It's structural. The threshold. Nobody explains. For most people, $20,000 is about 3 to 6 months of bare-bones expenses. That's not a starter emergency fund. That's real breathing room. With $20,000 sitting there. Car breaks down? Annoying, not catastrophic. Job loss? You have runway? Medical surprise? Stressful, but manageable. The background anxiety starts to quiet down. You sleep better, you think clearer. But here's the part nobody warns you about. When you cross $20,000, you become less profitable. And banks don't love that. Let me show you how. Profit source number 1, overdraft fees. Banks make billions every year from overdraft fees. Your account dips $8 below zero. That's a $35 penalty. Multiple transactions clear while you're negative. Multiple fees. One bad timing mistake can cost $100 in a single day. But when you have $20,000, you don't overdraft, ever. There's always a cushion. That revenue stream disappears. And that's just the first one. Because the real money banks make isn't from rich people. It's from stressed people. And that brings us to the second profit source. Profit source number 2, desperation products. When you don't have savings and something breaks, your options are terrible. High-interest personal loans, credit cards at 25% APR, buy now, pay later traps. Desperate people don't negotiate. They don't shop around. They just need money now, and they'll pay almost any price. But when you have $20,000, you transfer $2,000 from savings. Problem solved. No interest, no fees, no profit for anyone else. And this is where things start compounding in your favor. But before we get there, let me show you the third revenue stream that quietly disappears. Profit source number 3, credit card interest. The average person carrying a balance pays hundreds, sometimes thousands, in interest every year. Below $20,000, credit cards often double as emergency funds. You pay the minimum. Interest piles up. You stay stuck. Above $20,000, you don't carry balances. You use the card. You collect the rewards. You pay it off in full. In the credit card industry, they actually have a term for customers like that. They call you a deadbeat. Not because you're irresponsible, but because you're not profitable. And that's when something interesting happens. The system stops extracting from you and starts trying to tempt you instead. But before we talk about those temptations, if this is already shifting how you think about money, hit subscribe. I break down the financial psychology and system incentives that most people never see. And if you understand this stuff early, it changes your entire trajectory. Now let's keep going, because this is where phase 2 begins. The temptation phase. The moment your balance looks healthy on paper, the world changes. Your bank offers a premium metal card. Your investing app unlocks advanced features. Your inbox fills with pre-approved credit lines. You look stable, which makes you easier to sell to. And this is where a lot of people sabotage themselves. They treat $20,000 like the finish line. They think, I made it. So they loosen the discipline. Bigger apartment, new car payment, higher subscriptions. Nothing outrageous, just small upgrades. But here's the trap. Your fixed costs quietly drift up until your margin disappears. And suddenly, that $20,000 is carrying your entire life on its back. If that sounds familiar, you're not bad with money. You just never learned what to do after hitting the milestone. And what happens next is even more powerful than what got you there. The psychological shift below $20,000, you operate from scarcity brain. Every decision is about survival. Can I afford this? What if something goes wrong? Better not risk it. Scarcity brain narrows your thinking. It keeps you reactive. Above $20,000, you shift into breathing room brain. Not billionaire abundance, just stability. You can negotiate harder. You can walk away. You can take a slightly lower paying job with higher upside. Let me give you a real example. Imagine your boss is toxic. Below $20,000, you're trapped. You can't risk a missed paycheck. Above $20,000? You have months of runway. Your boss's leverage drops. Same job. Completely different power dynamic. And this is where compounding becomes real. Not just mathematically, psychologically. The math finally starts working. Everyone talks about compounding, but here's what they don't tell you. It doesn't feel powerful at small numbers. $2,000 earning 8%? That's $160. Nice, but not life-changing. $20,000 earning 8%? That's $1,600. Now you feel it. If you're investing $1,000 a month at roughly 8% annual return, it takes about 18 to 19 months to reach your first $20,000. But your second $20,000 comes faster because now your money is helping. The slope changes. And once the slope changes, momentum builds. But there's a catch. Compounding only works if you protect the base. If your account yo-yos from $20,000 down to $5,000 every year, the math never gets traction. It's like planting a tree and digging it up every spring to check the roots. Which brings us to the rule that protects everything. The floor rule. After $20,000, you need to think in layers. Layer 1, the floor. This is your never go below number. 3 to 6 months of bare bones expenses. Not for vacations, not for gadgets, not for lifestyle upgrades. Layer 2, growth, investments, retirement accounts, long-term compounding. Layer 3, options and fun. Travel, career pivots, strategic risks. You can enjoy your money, but you don't raid the floor to do it. Because once you drop below it, you're back in survival mode. And survival mode is where the system profits from you. The speed trap. Now, here's the final trap after $20,000. Speed. You log into your investment app. The graph finally looks respectable, and you think, how do I 10 times this? Options trading, meme stocks, leverage. One aggressive bet can erase years of steady progress. The goal isn't to avoid risk. It's to avoid resetting to zero. Protect the floor. Grow the middle. Play small with the top layer. That's how you move from defense to offense. What really changes below $20,000? You're reacting. Above $20,000, you're designing. Below it, you're fragile. Above it, you're stable. And stability is expensive for banks because stable people don't overdraft, don't panic finance, don't carry balances, don't accept bad deals. They compare, they negotiate, they say no. And no is the most unprofitable word in personal finance. $20,000 isn't retirement. It isn't generational wealth. But it is the first real line in the sand. The line where you stop being the product and start being the customer. If you understand what happens after $20,000 and you protect that floor, you're no longer playing defense. You're playing offense. So build it, protect it, grow above it, and don't let anyone, including your own impulses, turn it back into a finish line. If this video changed how you see that first $20,000, subscribe. I post weekly breakdowns on how money really works behind the scenes. And once you understand the incentives, everything makes more sense. And tell me in the comments, where are you right now on the journey to $20,000? Let's track it.